Hey everyone, it's Luis. So I want to welcome you to my kitchen. I'm going to have a guest here as often as possible so we can talk about finances, spirituality, things that are related to the gay Latino community and for everyone who loves gay Latinos. So I'm going to show you our first guest, and our first guest is Curly. So I want to show you how it went.
Thank you for this beautiful tea.
You're welcome.
And this beautiful meal. Keep it cash, keep it cute.
So today we're having a little bit of yerba mate. It's a herb that grows in Argentina and South America, unlike Brazil. But they also found out it grows they drink it in Lebanon, in the Middle East.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Guayaki.
This is really beautiful. And thank you for teaching me how to cook.
Yes.
Because you did teach me how to make this. I didn't even know that I could have all this and like still be healthy.
I really want you to kind of get inspired of how much protein you should be eating at every sitting.
This is every sitting?
Yes. This is how much protein you should be eating every sitting.
I don't think I'm eating right.
This is like 3 eggs, 2 turkey sausage links, and 2 protein pancakes.
Wow.
And it's the morning, so you can have a little bit extra sugar. Mm-hmm. You're much likely to burn it.
So if I do sugar, it's probably better that I do it in the morning. When I went sober, I've been sober for 4 years and 4 months now, and I suddenly had like a sweet tooth. Like I never had a sweet tooth. I never craved anything with sugar or anything sweet, and so that was kind of like really good because all I wanted to do was like have like my veggies and meats and my vodka, and I was like, that's how I maintain my weight. Forget water, you know what I mean? But when I left it, anything of the sound of syrup or waffles or anything, like my mouth would immediately water. A lot of times in sobriety they tell you like if it's between the waffles, the burger, or the vodka, go for the waffles and the burger. So my thing was that I kind of like did too much of the waffles and the burger. These are fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they're so good.
What do you think about the eggs?
They're actually good. They were really good.
Made by?
Made right. But no, when I fucking got so big, I got like, I went up to like 2 something. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna eat my sweets and I'm gonna do my thing.
Well,
you know? The thing that kind of kicked my health back into gear was because we did a video with Kim K's trainer. She was a girl, and it made it feel like working out wasn't like this like straight cis het, wasn't fun.
yeah.
You know, like, and working out with you, I feel like I'm with my friend because you know we get our little like
Chisme.
our little chisme in,
Yes.
and then you're like, okay, now that story, like give me 50 or whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love that, and I think that it has become like an integral part of how I feel and who I am. You know. Because even like talking to you, I was like, thank you so much. Like he saw me, I went out on Friday, and he saw me out in the wild.
I never see them in a while.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm only here because I feel good enough to be here because of him. Like,
you look great. Like a nice fitted shirt, nice jeans.
thank you.
You look cute.
Black on black, you know?
All black and black. I mean, I met him. I've seen him through like better like stuff on Facebook, but there only had this image. Like I came in. Luis's perception of Curly was a certain timeline, and then as I started training you and went back to your pictures, you were much bigger than one of you. But just to see where your transformation came from, and I think one question that stood out to me that I asked you was, Curly, like, what went through your mind from go to that weight to now?
I do get like, because you know, we talk about like weight always fluctuates. And I think that like for me, as long as I'm learning how to love myself just a little bit more, like I'm winning. You know what I mean? Like if I can look at myself and be like, oh, I'm smaller, do I love myself more? You're winning. Oh, I gained weight, but do I love myself more today? Like I'm winning, you know? What's interesting is that if you are bigger or if you've ever been bigger, you kind of, that mentality of being like a bigger person, like never leaves you. You know what I mean? Like you always feel like no matter what you look like. And that's like a thing that I know a lot of people deal with. you know?
You still feel that you deal with that now?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. Like you're like, oh, like, you know, I'm so used to being like, oh, we're gonna sit at the big girl table. You know what I mean? And then they're like, you're not a big girl anymore. You can't sit here with us. And then what does that do to like how you feel and how you present into the world? Like we were talking earlier, like having a six pack doesn't define who you are, you know? But it's also like, it's hard when you're like, that's how you feel good. It's an interesting like space to be in mentally, no matter where you are on the spectrum. Because you'll meet people who are really tiny.
Yeah.
And they're like, they get left and right is people being like, you're so skinny, and they hate that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
what keeps you now kind of sane, or that mentality, or how do you check yourself?
I've always been, and I think you're like this too. I think we're like you gotta be like self-reflective. You know, like you gotta be like whenever I fight with anybody that I really love or a friend, I take a step back and I'm like, am I tripping? Like, am I wrong? And I'll ask like other people around. I'm like, this is what happened. Like, am I ever wrong? Like people that I love and that I trust. And if they're like, yeah, bitch, that was fucking rude, I'm the first person to be like, oh shit. Like,
He does do that.
Yeah, like I apologize. I fucked up. I take full responsibility for how my actions affected you. Not may have affected you, but affected you.
Yeah.
So like how can I do better and what can I do to make amends? And and I'm sorry. And how can I fix this? Is it fixable?
How someone who was bigger before and you still have your mentality, like you might be self-conscious, and I think you've done really well at maintaining your weight, but I feel that, or from like, I get the feeling that you have that in the back of your mind, but you're in a different space now. It's not more about weight fluctuation. That's not like something you focus on. I think you're focusing more on something different.
I think I'm focusing on how do I get to the space where I just feel really good about myself. I told you this, I was like, how do I just feel good in my clothes? How do I just feel good when I'm like, I'm gonna wear that shirt or that sweater? But I think it's never ending, and I think that understanding that how you feel about your self-confidence, like it's not a feeling that you gain and it just stays there. Like yesterday, I was wearing this shirt and this hat, and I'm sitting in my living room and I felt gross. I was like, oh, I don't feel cute. And instead of sitting there being like, I feel gross, I feel ugly, I'm very much like, what are you gonna do about it? So I got up, I changed my shirt, I took my hat off, I put a little product in my hair, I did like a few push-ups, and I was like, okay, I feel so much better. Understand that you will inevitably fluctuate in your emotions, in your weight, in your relationships, in your bank account. Everything is gonna change, but like, what are you gonna do about it? Were you always really buff, or do you think were you more on the skinnier side?
I was always on the skinnier side. And I always had a division. I still have, and that kind of keeps me going every day. In my mind, in terms of like my body, I always had this vision that I know what my body can do, what it's capable of, and what it can look like. I want it to be like super strong and like not chiseled and like good form, but also be athletic. That I can run, jump, swim, and that to me is just like internally just feel like I'm actually being the fullest version of myself.
Yeah, I love that, but I feel like not everybody knows what they're capable of, which is great because if they have people like you in their life, you're like, I see it for you. Like, you know, I'm always super proud of the fact that we're Central American. Like, my abuelito always used to say, like, nosotros venimos del centro de América. Like, the very heart of all of the Americas, you know? And I always feel like this connection to the land and our ancestors. And my abuelita always used to say, and my dad actually raised us this way, he would say, like, nosotros venimos del volcán. Somos gente del volcán. And we're volcano people, essentially. In El Salvador, all there is like a shit ton of volcanoes. And my abuelita was like, I used to live at the base of one. That's where I was born. That's where our lineage is. And so for me, I think it's super important, and I do love that. And it is a part of my spirituality. It is a part of the way that I move. It informs so much of like, even where I want to live. Like when I went to New York, like I feel like my ancestors are like, where are we?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck we are. You know, when I'm in LA, I feel like the ancestors here are like, yeah, girl, let's go for a walk. Let's enjoy the sunlight. Like the breeze today, like the breeze out here in LA is beautiful today. This is like my ideal, maybe a little bit brighter, but this is my ideal day.
It's funny because I had that realization too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's being in Guatemala or Salvador. It's really tropical and very sunny. There's always sun and it's really happy.
Mm-hmm.
And LA is like that. I can't see myself anywhere else other than LA.
Yeah.
And I do go to maybe New York and I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, wow, people live here.
I know.
I'm in Seattle and it's like no judgment. It's probably like other people have different backgrounds, but I like it.
But you know,
It's
so
where I feel
like
home.
you're Salvadorian and Guatemalan, right?
Yes.
So you have like a beautiful, beautiful history of ancestors, ancestry magic, the colors, the embroidery, the techniques. Like, so you probably have like Pipil indigenous blood, you have Mayan blood, you might have some Lenca blood. Like, you are rooted in this land, and that kind of, I think, motivates us to move differently. Like, I think we move much calmer. Like, there's a sense of like, we will get there because we're so connected to this area.
Yeah.
You know, I saw this. There was a movie called. Oh my god, what is this movie? It's called Girl Trip with Jada Pinkett, Tiffany Haddish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really popular movie, and it was all black women, all black actresses, and it was amazing. I went with my entire team, but like, and there's a scene where one of the girls is like, they're making fun of her because she doesn't know how to dress, and she comes out and she's wearing like this embroidered, almost like Whippil-esque shirt, and the girls make fun of her. They're like, oh my god, you look like some Guatemalan woman, embroidery or something. And I was so mad when I saw that, because I was like, here we are celebrating diversity in Hollywood, and I'm like, if you can recognize that embroidery and the colors are an ancient like technique that like our ancestors have passed on to us, if you can recognize that Western culture has made it so that the kids don't want to learn anymore.
Yeah.
They want to be like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get like another career.
Yes.
And so it's considered like, for a lot of people, like a dying art, you know? Like, and what's wrong with looking like a Guatemalan senora? Like, nothing. So it's like, but when you know the information in the backup, you can kind of move in that strength. And I think that like, that to me is super important to like how I do anything in my life. Somebody told me one time, they were like, when you pray for anything, when you pray for the spirits, the first thing you do is you go, you ask the ancestors, so like your abuelitas or whoever's on the other side, if you're like, can you help me ask the spirit world? So then you go into like, my understanding was then you go into like orishas or saints or whatever, and then you ask them to help you ask God. And you kind of ask everybody to come with you and be like, send more money, girl. You know what I mean? Or something.
Send more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want some of this?
Yes, please. So talking about money, it's really good because we had a great conversation off camera about
how do I do this?
What has so you're gonna press it down.
This is like life lessons with Louis. Like,
life lessons in the kitchen with Luis Suarez.
Curly clearly does not know how to be an
Use
adult.
the French press.
Go all the way down?
I'll go all the way down.
How do...
All the way down, all the way down.
All the way down?
All the way down. There we go. So this is a French press, in case you guys don't know how to use it.
Do I want a French press?
I think you do. I think they're fun. I use it for tea and coffee. Normally they're used for coffee. But I use yerba mate because it's loose leaf. So you can put the tea leaves in here. You can do like green tea or yerba mate, and then as you press it down, it has a mesh. So then you press it down and it filters everything.
I feel like most people and most adults have something like this, but I'm such like in the dark ages that I'm like, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I'm interrupting you. So
no, you're fine.
Talking
This is great.
Money or finances?
Yeah, we're talking about money and finances. How you were talking about how your perspective and making you successful, and financially successful in comparison to where you were before.
I was like,
it helped you because of your ego, right? It
Yes,
helped you to improve your ego and kindness. Can you tell me more about that?
So I always say that
people
like,
can do?
if I ever have like my own TED Talk, it would be how the power of kindness can truly change lives. Like removing ego and moving. Somebody in my youth was like, only work with people that inspire you. Somebody put it into perspective one time because I was like, man, I work at Buzzfeed. I serve the lunches. I clean up after everybody. I sweep. I set up parties. I clean up the fucking parties. Like, it feels ugly because not only that, but I was doing this for people who were younger than me or my age.
Yes.
So I was like, damn, what did I do that I am not at the same level as these kids that are younger than me? What did I do that I'm not at the same level as these people?
This is when you started Buzzfeed, right?
That's when I started.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You were cleaning.
I was cleaning, exactly, serving them their lunches and shit. And then, but I also was like, I'm not gonna let that be my narrative. I'm not gonna let that hold me down.
Mm-hmm.
So when you came into my kitchen, you were in my kingdom. You were in my realm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's very like, I might be serving you, but it's like this. Like it felt like this, like, but you're in my house, at my table, and eating my food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like, I kind of just adopted that sort of attitude, and I think that really resonated. I was hanging out with one of the producers at Buzzfeed last night, and she was telling me that she remembers that I would get on my skateboard and skate around the whole studio and howl and announce that we were about to have lunch. And I was telling her, I remember why I thought I should do this. And it was because I used to put the lunches out and it would be like, okay, like now everybody can come and eat. But people would move past me and get the food before I had even finished setting it up. So I remember that I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get on my skateboard. I'm gonna have to like make a big announcement so that people can wait, so that people know to wait. So, but I'm gonna yell it really loud. What I don't remember is why I thought that was a good idea. Like I don't remember. I will listen at the whole that yelling in middle of an office on a skateboard was a good idea. But I was 25, 26, and I'm like, what do I have to lose? What are they gonna do? Tell me like, don't do that? Then I won't fucking do it. But I'm 26, so I'm like, who cares? And so it became a thing, and people started to recognize the fact that I was doing things my own way, and it didn't fucking matter if I had to pick up your plates and fucking wipe and fucking sweep after you. Like, I felt like I was a king. Like, I felt really like important doing that. And I think that that's not ego, that to me is true confidence.